down the end of the bar. Oh, hi Fudge. Why don't you put it in the crate then? Anyway, in the corner of the room, Lulin rises. Although it doesn't look like she's even slept. There's some bags under her eyes. She seems a bit disorientated, maybe a bit drunk from the night before. Who knows? Hestia is wrapped up in her own wings as she pokes up and immediately hops onto Bleaty's back, who is fast asleep in the tub that all of you were having a bath in the night before.
Oh, sure.
Freya wakes up, walks out from the little closet section she turned into a bed, grabs a leg of lamb and just starts chewing it in front of Bleaty, who hungrily licks his lips.
God.
Then there's a little rap at the door. Bum, 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 bum. Dravik strides on over to open it, and Scribbles walks in. Timmy is covered head to toe in mud. Scribbles is covered head to toe in mud. And Timmy immediately just takes a beer and he's shaking his cold as he drinks it. Neither of them look like they've slept.
It's a good boy, Timmy. It's a good boy.
Oh, you won't believe what happened.
I'm gonna sniff in the air. Were you down in the caverns?
Oh, what?
There is a good chance we had a little romp around underground somewhere, and I've got to say, little Timmy was exceptional.
Oh.
He's the sparkling student that I've always wanted,
Oh.
and the only human I can ever say that I've really liked.
I'll aggressively ruffle his hair. Little champ.
Fucking touch my child.
Oh god. I will continue to ruffle his hair.
I don't want to
I'm
alarm
going to
you,
gently
but
place my hand on the member of a certain angel and say, "Hey,
I'm
Angel,
not
how's
Angel.
it be?"
Angel's not here.
Yeah, shit.
Somewhere Angel goes, ooh,
Oh.
magic hand.
I'm going to put my hand gently on the member of Dravik and say, "Dravik, a certain friend of mine's knee is not doing very well now, thanks to me, so..."
There's Timmy's just like, I don't want anyone to be alarmed, but there's someone with us, kind of. And suddenly this smell of putrid flesh enters the room as this undead Templar smashes through the door. His blood is just dried all over his bronze plate armor. His runic patterns engraved into his armor are still shimmering green as this cosmic energy bounces within his carapace of armor, his cuirass. His eyes have rolled back into his sockets. His teeth are somewhat grey. His flesh is grey. He's also wet and all gross. And he holds in his left hand, he's got nothing in his left hand, but one of his arms is badly broken. And in his right hand, he holds a mace that's just swinging around his knees. This is our Templar. There was an accident in one of the secret passages that Master found. We desperately attempted to come and assist you, but it was dark. We ran into a few cultists and had to escape through a sewage system. Somehow, Master's spell hasn't worn off on this Templar, and so he's now joining us.
Luckily, the Templar's cuirass is designed to prevent magic from affecting them, but they kind of didn't anticipate someone with extra small hands putting a hand under the cuirass. So now the cuirass is just maintaining the magic inside him, and that's kind of where we're at right now. Gotta say, I like this other human too. He's good fun. He doesn't say much.
I think Dravik's gonna stop ruffling that kid's hair and take a step back.
The innkeeper's just like, he holds his heart as he slowly slides down behind the counter, puking a little bit out of his nose.
It's all right. This is just Moni. Don't worry about him. He's a good guy.
Moni walks off through one of the separations that was set up in the room, scaring the hell out of Miranda, who half naked sprints out from underneath her sheets, uses the sheets as a cloak around herself, and draws her short sword. Her hair is all a mess and puffed up either side. She's got sleep in her eyes, and it takes her a little bit to know what's happening in the room right now. She looks at everyone one by one, then looks at Reiner, looks at Moni, looks at Bleaty in the bath, who's also now staring.
Moni.
Bleaty and Moni, yeah. And she quickly grabs her boots and clothes and runs out the front door.
Jeez.
Who's that? She seemed pretty skittish.
You've met her. Scribble's met her already, but
He tied her up in vines, if I recall.
yeah.
Or dead skeleton hands.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the one. We have a great relationship, she and I. It's you know, she's a love-hate relationship. We get along.
The innkeeper stands up, wipes the vomit from his nose, and washes his hands before serving out all the plates of food. He almost goes to put something out for Moni and then hesitates and decides to just give it to Bleaty, as Bleaty destroys the lamb chops in front of him.
What's the innkeeper's name again?
Phyllis.
Phyllis, do you have any hands?
He looks down at his. No.
Is there a graveyard nearby? Moni's kind of got a thing for human flesh.
A bit more vomit comes out of his mouth. Lands
No.
on Bleaty's lamb chop, and Bleaty just doesn't mind.
Vomit's not a problem. That's all good.
Well, I'm just gonna start cleaning, I guess, as he nervously backs into the kitchen, shutting the flaps. You guys want to talk about anything while
But it's been a bit of an adventure, guys. I've missed you all. How are you?
Ooh.
Alright. Nice that you should run off again.
Yeah, literally Rose just at the bar just looking at Scribbles oh, okay.
Well, I mean, someone had to go into the underground tunnel, and who better to do that than Necromancer, right? I spend half my life lurking around in the dark, and I can see well in it. Plus, I love killing humans, so, it's kind of my thing.
Or half killing them.
Well, it's even better when you don't actually kill them and just kind of keep them alive. It prolongs the suffering. It's a good thing for me. But yeah, I mean, Moni's a good guy. He's not going to hurt anyone. No one make any sudden movements, and no one say anything.
No, whatever, don't look him in the eye.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's he can't really swing his mace properly, so it just drags along the floor a little bit as he's moving his arms left to right.
But no, he's good. We've had a bit of an adventure. Unfortunately, some cultists were down there, and they mysteriously all just kind of turned into blood and ash when I was walking past them. I don't really know what happened, but they're not there anymore. So there's that. And yeah, I've found my way back to everyone. How have you all been since last time?
I mean, you did kind of skip over a very important detail there. Just casually turned into blood and dust, or was it you have anything to do with it, or?
I mean, I was in the vicinity.
Are we talking about the Cult of Moor,
Okay.
by the way?
No.
It's cut of less now if I had anything to do with it.
The cult you guys just fought the day before.
Oh.
So Scribbles was in one of the secret entrances that would have led to that chamber you guys had that massive fight in. But he got waylaid and distracted by having to fight vastly outnumbered, even with a new tank on his side.
Luckily, this Moni's very good with a flail mace. I mean, yeah, their helmets did nothing against the might of his Morning Star. So
He tries to spin it, but it's just a camp spin. There's a little bell tolls outside, and you hear this wagon pull up, and these men in armor disembark. There's a rap at the inn door.
I go and open it.
The door opens, and a broad, tall, bald man strides through. His helmet underneath his arm, and a long sword at his hip, as well as a dagger. A red cloak billows behind him. Ah, the heroes. My name is Marshal Owen, and I will be commanding the hairmen outside in assisting you in hunting the basilisk. We have the ballista set up right outside and aboard its wagon. We have armor pits. Sorry, a fly went in my throat from the very foul-smelling man over there. We have. He stops and looks at Moni again. We have 12 men under your command, all trained soldiers and all ready to lay down their lives in assisting you in this quest, as Our Lady has commanded.
Good.
Lovely.
What are their names?
Nice.
That's 1 to 12, you could call them. I'm Marshal Owen. I have a wife and 3 children, and a 4th on the way.
Lovely. Is there a library in town?
What?
You point me to the nearest graveyard.
What?
I'm gonna walk up to them and go, I like to know which members will be in this team by name. No numbers here.
Very well. Line up. And the 10 men, like, they stop what they're doing. Are you all gone outside, or are you just waiting?
I'm
through the
going to the
window?
library.
How bright is the daylight?
It's fresh morning.
I'm gonna take one of the sheets from the bed of the inn and just hang it over Moni. Sunlight burns his skin a little bit, so...
So you go outside, and there are these 12 men lined up. All are carrying, all are in red cloaks with like gold and ornate-looking armor. They're all wearing heavy armor. Their cloaks are quite woolen because where you're going is going to be quite cold. Each man has a spear, long sword, like a tower shield, and a dagger, so they're well equipped. The wagon behind them is very large. It can transport 4 men riding on the front and 2 men riding on the back, as well as it holds like a giant ballista that's been designed so it can move and rotate within the cart. So you never have to disembark the ballista unless you want to.
Okay.
Along the outside of either side of the cart are these like giant bolts, all steel and all steel pointed as well. There are supplies like food, wood, timber, ropes, fabrics, furs, and spare boots if anything happens. It's pulled by
Food,
about-
wood, timber, ropes. Was that
Yeah.
it? Sorry. Yeah,
supplies, yeah, basically.
cool. Nice.
It's about a week's like adventure to where the basilisk was last seen. A week there and a week back. There's 8 horses pulling it as well because it's quite a heavy cart.
Oh.
And these are big. These aren't war horses, by the way. These are big, just like.
They are big war horses, you said.
No, they aren't war
They're
horses.
not,
They're
okay.
They're
Big
big
horses.
horses. And aboard and hopping off the back of the cart is. And what was his name, Adam? The dwarf I called that you were like, I hate that name. What was the dwarf's name?
Oh fuck. I don't remember, but it's fake.
It was like Sprout Bagglesnoot or something.
I'd come up with a new one.
He jumps down, he's got one eye, he's got a peg leg, he's leaning on his axe as a crutch, it's like a little short axe. He's got a bandolier of like gizmos across his chest, a woolen cloak, light armor, no helmet or anything, and he's like slightly bald and like shaved almost on one side of his head. And he looks up at you guys. I'm Scrap. Pleasure to meet you. The lady's commanded that I show you back to that devil's den, albeit that under her father's command, about 30 to 40 of my best men died trying to fucking kill it.
So you have physically seen it.
Who do you think gave me this? As he points near enough where his eye would be.
Interesting.
The beast is, he's not just any old basilisk. He's mutated. He's a fearsome creature, bigger than any snake I've ever seen, bigger than those Summer Island snakes, bigger than you, lad. Bigger than all of you, should you be connected arse to mouth. Like some fucking horror film. What's a film?
Like a moving
Now listen.
picture.
Now listen here, right? I don't want to be
Wait a
going
sec.
back. He pops the hip flask and downs whatever's in it and passes it to one of the guardsmen who like nervously fills it whilst trying to hold his shield up in front of you guys at attention. This thing's a bastard, but I've been commanded by life or death. So ready when you are. So he sits back, crosses his arms, and is just looking at you like.
And the rest of you, give me a very brief overview of your skills.
Spearman!
Yes, and what's your names?
I think they're all
I'm
speaking,
gonna
apparently.
gently raise my hand and just say I feel like
Rob,
you know,
Bob,
we've
Job, Knob, Cob, Lob, Fob, Mob.
I missed a few of those. Rob, Bob, Knob,
Oh
Cobb.
my god. Okay.
And Mob.
hold on. Let me get a pen and paper.
While this is
No.
all going on,
No.
Ryan's just gonna say he'll be back in a minute and just disappears for a little bit.
Right. Hold on. Before we all
We have a
go,
military operation here. I don't
bloody
want.
separate adventures.
no-namers.
Let me just do this.
Every name is one, inch closer to staying alive.
Right. Fucking Marshall. What was his name?
That was Marshall. He has 3 children and a wife.
Yeah. What was his surname? Is Marshall Drake.
Owen.
Drake.
Owen. That's it.
Oh, Owen.
Marshall Owen, and then Scrout.
He was Scrap, right? The dwarf.
No, Scrout.
Oh, I missed. I'll write that.
You call one of them Dongle?
Hold on. And then 12 guardsmen. Fucking hell. Okay, the 12 guardsmen. We've got Bob.
Oh, come on. We can't have Bob. What about Fat Bob? Bring up too many memories. We'll have to
Right.
rename him. He can be called Bob, but we'll give him a nickname.
Alright, Bob. You got Lob. You got Lenny.
Nice.
You got Carmine.
Oh, cool.
You've got Jam.
Jammy bastard.
You've got
Cottage?
Felix. Cottage.
Sausage.
You got
Sausage.
Sausage. You've
Sausage.
got a bald guard.
I think that's such a good name for a guard.
How
Hello,
about
mate. I'm
what about-
sausage.
Grunt?
You got Grunt. Yeah.
Can he have can Grunt have a plasma pistol?
Grunt? No, Grunt doesn't talk. He just
He's
grunts.
silent. He just grunts.
You got Simi.
Nice. What about Phil
You got Phil
and Lil?
and Lil, who are
And
brothers. They're
how about
twins.
Chucky?
No, no Chucky. Phil and Lil are brothers.
Okay, they're twins.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And you got Chucky.
They all humans, by the way.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
1, 2, 3,
Right.
5, 6, 7, 10, 11. Who was and 12 was Marshall. I thought
Yeah.
I
No,
missed
no,
I
no.
missed a guard. Who was in
So there's
between
Marshall
Sausage
Owen.
and Phoenix?
Grunt. And Simi. So it goes Bob, Lob, Lenny,
Oh,
Carmine, Jack,
Lob. I
Phoenix.
missed Lob. Don't worry. Yeah, we're all up to that.
All right. All right, now
I'm glad to be accustomed with you all. Now, I want each and every one of you to look deep inside your heart and know that there is a very good chance that you will not return to your families if you follow this wagon to the end. Is that something all of you are prepared to do? I'm looking at you, Lob.
And in advance, can I ask if you donate your hands if you die? It's a good cause.
They all kind of look nervously at her. Marshall Owen looks down at the halfling and then looks nervously back at them and he's like, "Men, you heard him. Answer the Argonian." All but Simi shout, "Yes, sir!" And Simi then shouts it 10 minutes later.
All right, I'm satisfied. That was a good team. Oh dear.
Okay. Where did you want to go, Lulan? You want to go to the library?
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
I want to do some research on
Okay.
Actually,
monsters.
I think Freya's gonna go as well.
Lulan and Freya have gone to the library. Does anyone else want to go read a book instead of saving the world?
Yes, I'll go read a book.
Okay. As
I'm
Scribbles walks,
I'm coming back at some point. Just
as Scribbles walks down the stairs, Timmy nervously follows. Bleaty just comes outside and starts chewing on one of the Chucky's cloak.
Has Scribbles already left?
Scribbles, Lulan, and Freya are just about to leave.
I'm gonna just ask Timmy. Timmy, you've had a long day. Do you fancy a bath? Do you fancy some food?
yes, thank you, yeah,
Oh,
thank you,
that's
Master.
the nicest
Desperately,
you've ever treated him.
desperately, he runs back up the stairs and immediately starts eating food from the scraps of your plate.
And I'm gonna sort of say to the innkeeper, really nicely, please take good care of him. My esteemed colleague Moni will watch over and make sure that you do.
Moni was halfway down the stairs, turns and goes back up the stairs. His flail mace dragging of each step as he
That's a good
walks
boy,
back
Moni.
through the door.
That's a good point.
Just before Scribbles leaves, I'd like to go up to him and just engage in conversation and be like,
Well, hello. It's good to hear from you again. How have you been?
I've been well. As an honorable warrior, I thought it was important that I find this display utter filthy disgrace that you would take an honorable warrior like that and parade it around, and the only reason I'm not cutting it down where it stands is because it will be useful in the coming battle. But when we are done, I will cut it down, and then our business will be finished.
Very, very understandable. I'm really sorry you're still suffering with throat cancer. It does sound awful, and I really hope that I can help cure you from that at some stage. But I will promise you one thing. It'll be far nicer to have Moni between the Basilisk fangs and yourself when you're in that pit, rather than have nothing. And I mean, look, Moni is a willing sacrifice. He's coming of his own free will wherever he wants to go. I'm not telling him what to do. Moni, go look after Timmy. You see, just doing what he wants to do. He's having his best life. He gets a free supply of hands every time he goes to
gonna
battle.
leave. He's made his point.
Alright. Traffic, before you go.
He's already leaving.
Alright, fair enough.
Okay, Voltron, what would you like to do?
Pretty much nothing. So probably would have slept in longer than everyone else, and then would have just been sat on the cart waiting to go.
As you go to sit on the back of the cart, Sprout looks at you. All right, mate.
How's it going?
Well, I was never a drinker until I got my eye bitten out by a giant snake and watched all my closest family and friends die to it. All my colleagues, the people underneath me, and my bosses all died on the very same day. I came to town to drink myself to an early grave, and now I've been asked to go back. So the day's not great. No.
Is there any alcohol nearby?
Yeah, and he lifts up one of the flaps in the hatch, and it's just full of booze.
Okay. Grab a reasonable size, and then just lean forward, spill a bit on the ground, and say, "For those that have gone," and then cheers him for those that remain, and then we'll take a big swig.
All right, lads, you're a good egg. What's your name?
Vulture, mate. Nice to meet you.
Oh, we've heard of you.
You have?
You're the shining star, Storm Lord or something like that, aren't you? You're a big
Don't know
big
how it
man.
happened, mate. Don't know how it happened.
Well, you're one of those Ancient champions, aren't you?
I'm told. So this
Oh,
basilisk,
Yes.
I'm sorry to bring it back to you,
Yeah. Well.
but we've got to try and
see
deal
it.
with it.
Yeah.
How does it?
Yeah.
How did it kill so many of your colleagues?
Well, it's bloody big, for one, so crushed a few of them by just going over them. A few others he strangled the life out with his giant tail. A couple of them he just devoured in one, bit, chewed. He spits acid, which is rather volatile as it burns through armor instantly, and melted them down to their very bones and beyond.
So it has a lair, or it was out in the open?
Well, this is the thing. We were digging a tunnel and mining silver as we were commanded by the lordship, and we came across a pre-dug tunnel. And I said, "God, we've not seen a pre-dug tunnel in many eons. Maybe this is one of the lost dwarven halls. You know, we're so close to Ingram's hold that I thought maybe Ingram's, the family, you know, they're mysterious many a time. Maybe they just did their own thing. Sorry, not Ingram's hold. We're so close to Darlington that maybe one of his lordship's tunnels just went a little too far, and we maybe could sneak a bit of silver from Darlington's land. But no, this snake was eating rock and digging himself a tunnel. He seems to be digging to something, I would say, or maybe he's running away, or maybe he just wants to settle down and have a nice nap. But we disturbed him, killed 40 of us in the first day. We left, went to the local village, retreated there, thought maybe we'd be all right. And then when sunset, he killed 200 people.
Did it kill to kill or kill to eat?
Well, he didn't eat everyone, so I'm guessing he's killing for fun. Oh no, I tell you what, lads. Maybe it was the booze in me, the fear, the fact I hadn't slept for 48 hours. But I could have sworn it was laughing.
Whilst they're
Put
engaging
it
in
in
that
a grave.
conversation, can I head down to the library and I want to inquire if there are any tomes on prominent poisons to reptiles?
As you, the three of you enter the library, it's not as big. It's somewhat similar to Barrowtown's, but slightly larger. There is a cloaked mage there, with a collar on. It's like collar, and he like walks up to you. Greetings. How may I be of service?
Hello there. As one type of mage to another, I want you to understand my plea here. The basilisk has been causing trouble for the town, the townsfolk, and all those surrounding, and we intend to head to try to defeat this mighty beast. And
Brave heroes.
I wouldn't say heroes, but brave, also no. But what I would say is I really, really need to know how we can best defend ourselves for the fight ahead. Is there a poison or a particular brew or toxin I can prepare in advance that could help my colleagues, or an anti-venom to fight against the basilisk's poison?
You must be the group that restored our lands and our lord. I will be of any assistance I can. We do have a section on mythic beasts and creatures. It's
I should
somewhere
very
near
much
the
like
back,
to see it.
and he points over, and it's like in the most dusty, unused section of the library.
Okay.
Hello, elves, and he greets you in Elvish. Although he's not Elvish himself, he can speak it.
No, that's nice.
Namaste. How may I be of assistance?
Moshi Moshi, elf desu.
I
Could
just
you-
wanted to. Ooh,
Oh, sorry, you go, Chess.
no, you go.
Could you lead me to the Elven history section, if
of
you have
course.
one?
We have the birth of Marketh to the fall of Marketh.
Oh, well, okay, I'll go to both.
Okay, it's quite a long section, and he points, and it's like almost half the library.
Okay, Bro's gonna start off there.
And you, young lady.
Is that the only Elvish history you've got?
We have no history before Marketh, as that's when the scriptures were written.
Are we assuming that I've been led to the venom section?
You're like you're a small boy. You're still walking over there.
All
It's
right.
on the other side.
Is there anything else about monsters that any books I can go to, like how
That
other
is-
than poisons and stuff?
Yeah, all the monster section is that small section with your colleague.
Cool.
Colleague.
I guess I'll go over there then.
We might have to work together just this once, Lulan. You don't have to enjoy it, but I feel like it's for the greater good.
As you pass this old lady.
This is a library.
Can I just really, have you seen the scene in John Wick where they're walking past each other with silenced guns,
Yeah.
shooting? What? Can I just go?
Her heart stops as she slowly succumbs onto the table in front of her.
I'm just going to
Lula just
smile.
pretends she saw nothing.
Yeah, the mage just
Smiling,
doesn't
keep
notice.
walking. Good.
As you get to the monster section, we'll deal with the monster section first because it's the smallest one. And Lauren, you're going to be poring over those books for a little while. As you get
I'm
to
gonna
the
go to
monster
Lauren
section,
afterwards.
most of them are covered in dust. There is a section from griffins,
Ooh, can I pick that up?
Okay, it's the section. So lion hybrids, giants, trolls, a section, a very small section on chaos, and most of it's like kids' books and nursery rhymes. And the section of orcs, which has been because unfortunately this section of the mythics kind of bleeds into the orc section. As very racist as it is, Midland isn't very accepting of orcs. And then there is a small section on reptiles and their kin.
Okay, well I'm gonna pick up a book about griffins.
Okay.
And then also I'm gonna skim for the mythic beast stuff for basilisk.
Okay, so I'm assuming Charlie, you're skimming the basilisk stuff.
Yeah, I want to look and see if there's like a filter, an elixir, a specific herb.
I'm
So
looking
there
for
is-
physical weaknesses. I already know a
so-
few, but I don't know if they work in this world.
So time skipping a little bit. Charlie, you discover an anti-venom.
Okay. Is
so
it like an antivenom I can just access, or do I need to go out and forage for it?
You'll have to craft it, but you discover the ability to craft this anti-venom.
Okay.
Lulan, you discover
Hello.
that basilisk scales is extremely hard, almost stronger than steel, but they overlap one another, and so that when it's on its belly and it's flattest, it's like nigh impossible to hit. One, because it's so insanely fast, but two, it can basically shrug off anything. Whereas if it's on its hind and almost like it's going to strike, it's one of its weakest if you're closest to it. So it's like a kind of you die or it dies situation.
Also, can I confirm if it's weak to two things? Is it weak to sunlight, and is it weak to mirrors? Because I know basilisks in our world
There's
petrify. So
there's no mention. There is mention that it can petrify. So there's mention that if it stares at you, it has an ability called petrify. So you now know that. You also know that Voltrum knows that it spits a venom. It's no mention of sunlight, but it has black scales.
Cool.
So think on that what you will. And as terms of the griffins, what are you trying to find out?
Just on general healthcare and how to look after it properly.
There's a small section on the beats griffin, which is Hestia. That they're the ones that stay adolescent for longest, and then when they hit adolescence, they suddenly grow very, very fast. And it's at this period that they're most crabby because their bones are growing rapidly.
Is there anything that I can do to help alleviate the great crabbiness? Or
No, there's some sort of like kelp from like seaside places and lakes that can sometimes help.
Oh, okay, cool.
But they've never been tamed before, so.
What about its temperament? Is there anything about temperament?
Sweet as like everyone's had them as pets until they hit adolescence and they suddenly kill everyone.
Right, cool. Lovely. And then I'm just gonna go over to where Freya is and go help her with her research quickly as well.
Okay, Freya.
Just quickly, Alex. With this potion, do I need to delve into ingredients, or can we just assume
No.
that I've crafted
I'll
it?
assume you've walked out and you're gonna go get the ingredients. They're basically
Fine.
just like mushrooms, skinny weed and stuff like that.
I love a bit of skinny weed.
Anyway, so you. Oh, that's a good idea, actually. It's not what you don't eat this poison. You have to smoke it, and it lasts for 24 hours.
You know how Gandalf walks around with that ridiculously long pipe?
Yeah.
Gonna start whittling one of those.
Nice. So you, Lauren, what are you looking for exactly? So I can skim this down a little bit.
You're muted, Lauren.
Sorry. So I'm going to look at some research on my ring, since it's been mentioned a couple times by our enemy. So if there's anything to do with like elvish rings or armor,
there's plenty. There's artifacts, and some have been like long lost through time. There's shields, swords, bows. It makes mention of a lot of things. Tiaras, the famous death masks, where elven royalty would get a piece of their soul embedded into a mask that they were buried with, should they ever need to communicate with future generations and pass wisdom. There's mention of rings, and under one section is the Swan Knight Captain ring, which is a snake consuming a snake. And what this does is it's typically passed down through Swan Knight captains and allows the use of a unique variation of fire that only that person can do. So typically they have to be a fire mage as well.
Okay.
It's known as
Loving
the
this track, by the way, Alex. Absolutely loving this track.
It's known as the Ring of the Ouroboros. It's like two snakes consuming one another, wrapped around a blue sapphire, the crest of the ring. It was passed down since the very beginning of Marquette, or since history was recorded, through the captains of the Swan Knights. The last person to have it was a female captain just before the fall of Marquette.
Okay.
Although her name hasn't been recorded since Marquette was lost.
Okay. Thank you very much.
It be the same, Captain?
I'm just writing this down.
Alex, just when there's a break in the library stuff, could you pretend no time had passed and I was still with...
Yeah. This is all happening at the same time.
Dungeons and Dragons.
I just wanted to ask that guy a question.
So as they're discussing in the library, Oh, do you want us to stop, Charlie? Oh, as they're discussing in the library, nice, Lauren. As they're discussing in the library, you like come out of the inn. You've got your bags on, your gear, and you see Voltron's pouring a beer on the floor as the guards are finishing packing.
Sorry, was that to me? Damn it.
That's annoying, isn't it?
Oh, was that to me? Sorry, I'm just writing that down.
No, that's to Tom.
Damn,
Oh,
I
okay.
heard library and I was like, oh, okay, still they're carrying
no,
on with the
I said,
library thing, and then I
they're
heard
in
to
the
Vulture.
library,
I was
I
like,
said-
fuck.
Yeah, as they're in the library, you walk out of the pub. You've got all your gear on, and you see
Great.
Voltron talking to Sprout.
So-
as he's pouring a beer on the floor.
I want basically catch up on that they were talking about the thingy, and I want to say,
Was there any noticeable weakness or anything that you attempted that you found any success with at all?
Oh, hello, Argonian.
Argonite, do you want a copyright strike?
It's so people just drag me out the door. Todd Howard just knocks me out. Argonite, oh yeah. We hit it with axes, pickaxes, spears, javelins, crossbows, muskets. We hit it with bloody blasting powder. We tried to bring the roof down on its head to slow it down. Thought it killed it, and then he just ate through the rocks and killed us all. Took my leg, took my eye. Not a nice guy. We hit it with barrels of blasting powder. We near down blew half of us up just trying to kill the thing.
Did you get any blasting powder inside? Or only attacking the outer shell?
Well, we tried. So we did think about this during the night. We filled up a barrel with the last of our powder, covered it in like our dead, hoping it would come to eat it, but it's almost like he could smell it. He sprayed acid all over it, got the powder all wet, couldn't ignite it.
okay,
So, no success.
No. Otherwise we wouldn't be here.
Well, you could have
Wouldn't
had a
we?
bit
Does the
of,
creature
you could have had a
even
bit of
bleed?
success.
Unfortunately, none that I was able to see because he took my eye.
That was meant to be a joke.
We're
That was a
going
really
in.
bad joke.
We're going in blind then.
He turns to Voltron. he turns to Voltron and he goes, I like you. And he turns to Dravik, I don't like you.
He's not all bad.
Uh,
Full of hot water though.
you hear this behind you, and you notice Grunt is standing there with like a heavy bag, and you're in his way, Dravik.
Thank you for letting me know, Grunt.
No, yeah, step to the side.
As he like throws the bag of grains onto the wagon.
I look at him and go,
Suddenly Moni comes to the door. Grunt looks at Moni.
can the in person walk by holding a heavy keg? Oh.
Marshall's just ticking stuff off. I believe we're all ready. Is everyone in your party ready for travel, sir?
Not currently. We're waiting for a few to return, but hopefully they will come back with knowledge more prevalent than dear Marshall here.
Ow.
I mean,
You mean-
Sprout.
I'm going to return smoking and say, I've got some pretty good knowledge right here for you if you need.
Master Halfling, would you care to ride the wagon?
I should love to ride the wagon.
Do you want me to pick you up? Or
I do
get a
want you
box?
to pick me up and place
Okay.
me gently down there.
Marshall lifts you with absolute ease, just like Baby Yoda, puts you into the back of the wagon. A
Thank you,
tarpaulin's
Marshall.
been thrown over most of the inside of the wagon with the ballista and stuff.
I shall not forget this act of kindness.
Bleaty's-
Also arrive soonish.
Bleaty's kind of staring at the front horse, just like looking up at it, like,
If Bleaty helps pull the wagon, will we get more space inside?
I
for
was
strength?
literally just about to say, can you please
Bleaty,
lash
just walk-
Bleaty to the wagon?
that's a sheep, Master Halfling.
I understand. But if you've seen if you've seen what I've seen in this world, you'll understand that sometimes a sheep is actually worth 10 horses. And also that a sheep can actually eat 10 horses. And you don't want to know which one Bleaty is. I would suggest you lash him.
Very well. Bleaty's been lashed to the wagon.
Can he be at the front like Rudolph?
Rudolph. Yeah, Bleaty's at the front like Rudolph. He looks really proud. He looks somewhat taller and broader. His armor shining brightly.
I was just going to do armor inspections on all the guardsmen while we await our final few crew.
All intact armor, all well trained. They're all like actually trained soldiers. They're not just levies.
Yeah.
The Bleaty's armor, you notice now, has like a cloak over one of his shoulders, and some of the kids run by and put flowers in Bleaty's hair and run off.
Oh, he's
So
made
now
connections.
You know, he's got like the Witch King of Angmar's helmet, right? Like his orcish helmet, and it's just got flowers in it. He's got like a orcish cuirass around him with like now this leather bandola keeping this like corner cloak over his shoulder.
He is looking top tier.
Yeah.
Bleaty is
He's got
probably the most
gauntlets
valuable.
instead of he's got gauntlets over his hoofs instead of boots, just 4 gauntlets.
Doesn't he have one boot? Has he got rid of that now?
Oh yeah, he has got one boot, yeah, on his back left foot.
Okay. He needs those hooves for stomping. Or
And then,
jabs.
I think it was one of Angel's boots. And then so Lulan and Freya, do you want to return?
I want to quickly go to the blacksmiths.
Okay.
I just want to look at one more thing at the library.
Okay, what would you like to look at?
I know that, like, obviously the librarian said that they haven't got anything obviously before Malekith, but can I have a look anyway?
Yes. So there's
More like ancient gods.
There's histories of Marketh. So not Malekith,
Yeah,
but
so-
Marketh.
Yeah.
So the histories of Marketh is that the city was older than recorded. So the Star City, as it was called, has been there before the elves started recording history. Whatever it is, minus 300 years ago.
Is that it?
And that's basically it. And that there was plenty of ruins and structures and scriptures recorded down, and that it's all in ancient Elvish. And there's some loose translation at the back of the book, which might come in handy.
Okay, can I look at one more thing?
Yep.
Is there like, let's say, dictionary for ancient Elvish?
No, but at the back of this book is the closest thing you'll get to it.
Can I maybe slip the book in my bag?
What's your dexterity?
I believe it's 10. Let me just double
Aren't we
check.
like quite...
Yeah,
rich?
it's 10.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
unbelievable. Yeah, with ease. Yeah, you walk past the mage kind of like politely namastays you as you
We're
walk
like-
by. The book doesn't fall out your sleeve, and you suddenly just start running down the street. You notice that the guards are all ready. Reiner, what you've messaged me a bunch of times.
I have, yeah.
Jesus, I wish you knew how to use a comma.
I can't spell for shit. I did say that.
Yeah,
I
this
think,
this
That's punctuation, though. It's different.
it's like reading
English.
Matrix code.
Max wrote Matrix 4 confirmed.
Just okay, the first bit.
That trailer looks really good, by the way.
Yeah, Morpheus
Awesome.
is Lawrence Fishburne's not in it.
That's what the Oracle wants you to think.
Yeah, true. Yes, okay to the first bit. I had to read the second bit another time. Oh wow, you actually.
Because
oh,
I'll just send it to him.
Okay, yeah. Is that how you're opening that letter?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, how you spelt her name right the first time, and then the next every time after that you spell it wrong.
Little details, it doesn't matter.
That's a bad omen for the rest of the relationship, right there.
It's not my fault.
Oh, that's really sweet, bro. Yeah, you can send all that.
Yeah.
You probably buried something in there that I've not read. Yeah, fine. Chess also fine.
Cool. Then I head back.
So
We're gonna have a question, but verbally,
yes, thank you.
seeing as we've never asked really.
Yeah.
As like a general vibe, what is the funds that this party has, monetary wise?
A lot. We haven't spent anything.
Monetary wise, you're well equipped. There's very few people that will turn you down for how much gold you've got. However, vast amount of the world now owe you favors. So usually you can just go and stay at whatever inn you want.
Okay, cool. So we're not. Okay, that's good to know. Good to know. Just update
You're
us,
basically rock
maybe. Like,
stars.
give us
Yeah.
like if we're running low, if we're exceeding. and
No,
stuff.
that's why you've got supplies. Chess also
Sweet.
just bought some stuff with gold. Chess, I'll just take the gold out of your account.
Cool.
As Lulan arrives, she's got a heavy bag, like swings it, drops it on the cart, and almost sends Scribbles off the front of it.
Being for a bumpy ride.
Ryan
Yep.
returns with like a hop in his skip, a smirk on his face, and an itch in his crotch as he gets to the wagon.
Nice.
All right, people. It's time to depart.
I'm gonna get at the front.
Marshall blows a horn. Wait, hold on. The men gather around and form up either side, and they like go with their spear and shields. As Marshall gets on the wagon, two of the men start whipping the horses into shape. Bleety just goes on 2 feet and just goes and starts like running as fast as he can. All the horses start sprinting up. Are you guys wanting to use your horses or just walk alongside the wagon?
I'm gonna grab my horse.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're all on
And
your
Hestia.
war horses. Scribbles, you obviously don't have one, which is why you're on the wagon. Timmy quickly
Can I
runs.
climb up to Bleaty? Sit
Dan-
upright.
Dangerous but fine. Timmy runs, jumps back onto the back of the wagon, and Moni just kind of holds onto a string and gets dragged around the back of through the mudded ground, just under his bed sheet.
Disguise the smell of it when we get to the basilisk.
It's true. It's fine. So you leave Lazarus. Like some of the people are like clapping. The guards all bow at you as you leave. And Reiner, you look up and on top of one of the tallest buildings. Miranda's cloak billows, her longbow and arm as she like takes off her hood and nods at you guys as you leave.
Just
Not
not
gonna-
back. Yeah.
Yeah, not back.
You go out of the never eat
I just give Chess evils for like being like, not on my woman.
You go out,
What is this?
you go out of the west exit to Lazarus, heading towards Darlington Mountains of the Southern Ridge, the Southern Mountains, sorry. And you go out, you pass like the immediate farmlands of like golden wheat, that stretches as far as the eye can see. You see some stables now and again. Your horses are just trotting fine, nothing to report. And this adventure is going to take about a week of camping every night.
I just want to share all the information I have about the basilisk to everyone.
Okay, well, share away
So
then.
they know. Okay, shit. What I have is that it is possibly weak to sunlight, but there was nothing recorded about it. However, the fact that it burrows down into the ground and only attacks at night makes me think it doesn't really like sunlight or brightness. And that its scales are very impenetrable. Yep, that thing. It's stronger than metal, so don't attack it when it's scared, when it's like down on the ground and slithering along. It's very fast as well.
You know the scales thing. We should be all right because we've got Reiner on our team. So
True, but it's
sorry, carry
Yeah.
on.
Thanks.
and
Don't get the reference.
if you can, it's at its weakest when it's about to attack, essentially, and it can petrify. So don't look at it in the eyes. And yeah, basically that's it.
Does all the guards know this? Can we share this information amongst
Yeah, I'm
everyone?
sharing it to everyone.
Okay.
So obviously don't only shoot it with this big machine when it's about to attack, and like shoot there.
So really, like everything we do, we want to kind of go at this with a whole bunch of planned distractions, so that
Oh,
it
yeah.
can be attacking those things, and then we shoot it with the bolt.
Yeah, and then can I just bring out my sack? Who uses shields or would like a shield? Anybody?
Anyone in our Voltrum?
I have my big boy shield.
Okay, well, I have 2 shields that have mirrors on them. So, for if it wants to petrify you, you can double back. And then I've got some other handheld mirrors. I give them to, like, all you guys. And I give the shields to a couple of the soldiers then, because no one wanted them.
Would I be able to carry a shield even with all my stuff, Alex?
On your back.
Can I take one?
Yep. And then I've got some explosives. And I held up, like, a bunch of explosives.
Sprout stands up. Let me smell that.
I hand it to him.
He opens up the bag, huffs it, and you see all this white dust on his beard and nose. It's good blasting powder. It's good. We have the similar stock. Maybe the lizard was right. He nods at Dravik. Maybe if we get enough explosives inside the bastard's belly, we can blow it from the inside out. Just maybe. And he huffs the powder once more. His eyes look slightly more awake. That's good blasting powder.
I was just thinking to, like, blast up the cave so some sunlight can come through it. But yeah, do that too.
I don't know if sunlight will kill it.
No, but it'll weaken it and piss it off.
Alex, can I fire the bolts from my bow?
No, absolutely not. Even the siege bow. No, these are. You've got this wagon is like a fucking limo, like a Hummer limo with like a huge ballista on the back of it.
Okay. What I want to do then is I want to go into the woods, craft some string.
Do you know how to craft string?
I'm an elf. I live in the woods.
From what though?
From like threads off a tree and shit.
Threads off a tree?
Yeah, you skim and
There's rope in the wagon. There's rope in the
Right, fine, whatever. I get some string.
Okay.
I also want to get a
rope.
couple of twigs.
Okay.
In a certain shape. I know what I'm looking for, but I will tell you later. And then I also want to like craft an explosive arrow.
Yeah, you can. The Sprout gives you a couple little mini bags of explosive powder.
Yeah.
Well, with you on our side, maybe there'll be a difference. He passes a tankard to Voltrim. They're both quite drunk at the back of the wagon. Mr. Halfling, maybe your kind will be able to stomach this. This is some dwarven brew. If not, you'll be shitting till the next week. Would you like some?
I'm willing to give it a try. If I could make a suggestion that you have a little puff on this, it might make you a little bit less vulnerable to the venom of the basilisk. That's a suggestion for everyone.
Let me have a hit of that.
I'm gonna take that as well.
We're still like a week away, aren't we? How long are you intending to have this spliff lit?
I have a lot of this. I spent all day crafting these.
So as they're getting high and drunk at the back, like the journey continues. The guardsmen are all talking amongst themselves, except Grunt, who's just going "Rah!" so often, like waking up from a nightmare. Phil and Lilla at the back, riding closer to Dravik. Hello, Master Argonite. I'm Phil, and I'm Lil.
Reminds me of Big Cook and Little Cook.
Sorry? We are chefs. Well, originally we wanted to be chefs. I wanted to be a chef. No, I wanted to be a chef. No, you wanted to be a gardener to garden my stuff to chef with. That's right. No, you are right. Wow, that was a long replay there. That's right. And as they're just chatting away, night begins to fall. And you guys stop to start setting up camp.
Who's on watch?
I'll be on watch tonight. I like the dark, and Moni's been complaining about the amount of light today, so I can take his blanket off.
Moni stands up. Half of his face has been like skinned.
I'll be back in a bit.
As he was dragged, so like you just see half of his face has still got flesh and muscle. The other half is just bone. So he's missing an eye now. But he kind of just stands staring up at the sky. It's a big full moon, so you can see completely around you as everyone snuggles down.
I
Anyone
think
wanna
we
do
should
anything?
take this night shift into thirds. So if they're taking the first one, I'll take the second.
Before we go to
Marshall,
bed, annoyingly, I
Marshall-
wanted Max here.
I want
So
to cook
Marsh-
dinner. I'm here. I want to cook dinner.
Ryan is cooking dinner. Good job. Marshall like kind of just passes ingredients and says that he'll take for second watch with Dravik.
Just before bed, I'm going to scout out the surrounding area.
I'll accompany you, Master Argonite. I would like to know more.
I work better alone.
Oh,
Scutters.
fair. As he turns around and walks away. Fultrum, Freya, and soon to be Lulan. Is there anything you'd like to do?
Well, can Freya set a fire,
Yeah.
and then she's gonna just sit there reading a book.
In the shadows, this lizard on 4 legs runs past you.
No, I was doing a hi-ya into the fire.
Fultrum, is there anything you'd like to do before bed?
Yeah. He'll probably get off the wagon because he probably wasn't riding a horse. He's going to be in full armor. He's like, does anyone want to just either do training or spar just to keep ourselves fresh?
I will.
Okay.
I was fully expecting no one to respond.
Yeah,
then.
I was really expecting
I
it.
mean,
That was
I
gonna
will,
demand.
but like, man, them's cooking, bruv.
Yeah, so this is while they're cooking. And probably while they're practicing, like,
Oh shit,
Fultrum
Chess, I
loses
forgot to send you.
every single time. Like,
What-
Lulan thrashes his ass.
Yeah.
And he's getting more and more annoyed. He's getting more and more wound up.
All right, I stop halfway through.
And in the end, just like then starts taking off the armor. And you'll watch him just like trot off, not as far as Dravik went, but then he'll just start like doing suicide sprints. He's just getting more and more annoyed at himself and more annoyed. And you'll probably notice that at all times the book is attached to his back.
Like, can I just keep alongside him and ask him if he wants to talk?
Can I ask him if he wants me to take the book for a little bit? Maybe.
He's gonna say no to Reiner, but he's
No.
basically he's running because he's like, I'm not fast enough, not quick enough, I can't react quick enough. This thing is gonna fuck us up, and I just can't get any rest, and he's just constantly gonna be running. So like he slept way longer than everyone else, but he just looks
Reiner, even I'm gonna suggest Reiner just take off of him.
Every time Fultrum goes to sleep and closes his eyes, he sees the giant Shadow King standing there, like the Eye of Sauron, just flashes of dwarven flesh moving around the Shadow King with its
Nice.
shadow crown protruding upwards like a tower in a pile of meat.
Can I? Oh, I don't know if I trust Dravik with the book.
Dravik's
But-
not here.
Can
He's
I
not-
make a
Oh,
suggestion?
right, he's on watch.
No, Dravik's run off into the woods on his 4 legs.
Yeah.
I'd just like to make a suggestion that the person who's probably going to be the least affected by the dark powers here is me, because I pretty much spend all of my time dealing with exactly that. And I have real no interest in this book. This guy's not a necromancer. He's not using the powers that I enjoy. But since I'm going to be up anyway, and I'm not on watch, might I suggest that I hold on to the book for now? Bearing in mind that originally I had the book and chose to give it away, so clearly I haven't got any attachment to it.
I mean, I
I
would
don't
put
think you've had the
myself
book.
forward, but
I think he
I'm
has.
guessing.
I have. At the very start, I was
Oh,
the
were
one
you
that
the one
picked it
holding it?
up. Yes, and I
Oh.
chose to give it away.
Okay, cool.
So I had intentionally not kept the book, but I'm just now thinking it's clearly eating up this guy from the inside. So I think it might make sense that I just take it and
Yeah,
hope
I,
we can
I
get some
would
rest.
take the book, but I feel like I'm gonna be quite essential to the next bit.
You don't have to keep it the entire time.
I mean,
No.
I would take the book, but
Right,
after
I
No, you're
after
not.
After
No,
my
you're
little
not.
mistake,
It's not
I
Why,
just don't
but as
think
as Voltrim runs past, I just use my skeletal hand to kind of reach up and pluck the book from his back, and just it kind of the hand.
He
kind of
will
goes-
try and break your hand off.
I'm
You
gonna
don't
restrain him because
realise
I'm right next
because
to him.
you're running, and the hand just
Well,
comes up behind you and just
You'd
goes,
have to do a
"Hold on."
perception
Hold on.
check.
That's going to be a
Hold
contested
on.
roll.
All right, Voltrim, give me your perception.
Oh, it's like 3 or 4.
And Scribbles, what's your dexterity/wisdom?
Let's go with wisdom because it's magic, and my wisdom's like 8 or 7.
All right, yeah, let's do that. What's your dex, Bolt?
Let's just check.
Thought it was perception we were checking.
Perception. Sorry, yeah.
Again, it is 5 out of 15.
Is that 15 now?
Well, with absolute ease, the skeletal hand just goes up the ground, grabs the book, and goes back into the ground. Then just reappearing like a serpent holding the book by Scribbles, who's on the very outskirts of camp.
I'm going to take it, and like Gandalf, when he gets the ring, he puts it in a cloak. I'm not going to actually touch the book itself. I'm going to wrap it in a cloak, bundle it up, and just hide it away.
Not the ring, but yeah, the
You know what I
watching
mean?
stones. Yeah.
The eye.
Sorry.
You know what I fucking mean. You
The watching stones. Yeah.
nerd. You know what I mean.
And Voltrim, you immediately feel like this sense of like a cold wind cutting through you on a hot, sweaty night. You feel this like sense of ease and like relaxation. Some emotions might flood back to you. Some relief, like it's the first time you've taken a deep breath in a long while. You'll stop sprinting straight away and just look up towards the stars, kind of like what Moni's doing.
Yeah, apologies. Did completely forget about the book.
He'd had it a while.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna guide Voltrim over to camp and pull out some drinks. Just gonna
Sprout,
drinking.
He doesn't want to drink. He's had it. He's been drinking all day. It's
Sprout's
probably
asleep
not a
on the
good
back.
idea.
Sprout's asleep on the back of the wagon, and he's just pissed himself in his sleep.
Luna's just gonna go. Ugh.
Phil walks by. That's Dwarven Ale. You can tell he's pissed himself. As like
Very astute of you.
Lenny's gonna walk up. Hello everyone. I'm Lenny. How's everyone doing? I'm bringing over some bread and sausage. Your friend's chefing them up for you, Reiner. I've just handing them out. Is anyone hungry?
Me and extra sausages for Hestia, please.
Hestia. It's like slightly now bigger Griffin, who she's like learned to fly but short distances, comes crashing down into the wagon, like attempting to land beautifully but not quite, as she just inhales like 3 sausages off Lenny's tray. Lenny looks down at the tray and just kind of passes the cheese and bread out as he goes back for the sausages. And Hestia's just without chewing them, and you can kind of see the very tip of her beak is now slightly metallic and silver.
Aww. I'm just gonna go play with her then.
She's like rushing off. The horses have been like brushed and sorry, what?
Can I hand Scribbles his meal and like roll a perception check on him and be like, "You good?"
What's your perception?
I hate when you ask me that. It always makes me feel bad, like something's gonna go wrong.
You could just ask
8 out of
me.
15.
You could just ask Scribbles.
Well, I am asking you at the same time.
Yeah, and to be fair, Scribbles looks fine.
Really, I'm fine. Like, I've been around much more horrific powers than this on a daily basis. I'm fully aware of the power of this book, and I don't intend to use it because I don't think I'll be able to control myself if I do. I have people that I care about and I still want to protect, so this isn't in my best interests to meddle with this. And whilst I am very much a dark magic user, I don't hate everyone. I just hate humans, and everyone else to me is
Ryder
tolerable.
just puts up his hand and be like, "Bro, I only asked you if you're good." Hands the thing, walks up.
Can I just summon the skeletal hand and just slowly push Reiner away?
It's on cooldown.
Damn it.
You see Lenny in the background going to give Moni a sausage, and then kind of just Moni just goes, and so Lenny just walks away nervously. Timmy's eating his heart full, and then like trying not to fall asleep as his master's on watch.
Timmy,
all the horses have been
can
brushed.
I tell Timmy, go get some sleep. You're gonna need it for tomorrow. I will need you for tomorrow.
Master. Thank you, Master. As he falls asleep.
And I'm going to get Bleaty to curl up around him so he has something warm to lie on.
Bleaty's not here.
Yeah.
Bleaty's gone wandering.
Oh.
Well, the thing is,
Where
I
did
just know
Bleaty go
Bleaty will be
wandering?
okay. I just trust that Bleaty will be okay.
Dravik, as you're running through the
I
woods,
knew you'd cut to me now.
as Dravik's running through the woods, you feel a familiar taste on your tongue. As you stand up and like stretch your back, you see Bleaty drinking out the river, like miles from camp, ahead of you. It's unmistakably Bleaty because of his armor.
I'm gonna try and make eye contact with Bleedy.
Bleaty like goes, like wet chops all over him. As you both blink at one another in the darkness.
I'm gonna take my weapon out with a sense of dread.
Bleaty just starts chewing grass in front of you.
Well, I'm gonna sheath my weapon and go up to his water hole and tentatively see if I can have a taste.
He's like just watching you, and he drinks next to you.
I'm gonna have a drink.
As you're drinking, you
Max,
then
your phone is giving
you're-
feedback.
you-
It's alright.
As you look up from your drinking hole, Bleaty's no longer there. Sorry, that's not even the right one.
That is still ominous, though.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Oh, I
there.
did it the wrong way round. I should have done ominous Bleaty verse and then chill.
Can I sense for tracks using my monster tracking trait?
He's definitely just walked off. Like
Oh.
you can kind of see his like
He
white
hasn't
soft
just
bum
disappeared.
just walking in the, but further away than you'd have thought. Like he's made good distance in a short amount of time.
I'm gonna follow Bleedy back. I feel satisfied that we're well protected.
Bleaty's like just galloping as he comes back to camp. No one's guided this sheep. He's just known the exact way back. As he comes and nestles next to Timmy, who's like kind of just rolls over and starts spooning the big fluffiness.
I'll return and go. It looks like. Well, actually, did it look like this coast was clear other than Bleedy?
Yeah.
It looks like the coast is clear to camp and rest.
Everyone
Japanese sausage.
settles. Everyone settles in. There's some like gossip as everyone's eating and enjoying themselves and catching up, sharing stories. Some of you might share stories with the guards who have mentioned that they've heard about your adventure. Marshall ticks off the night's watch, and eventually you all settle into a nice sleep. There's a nice cooling wind descending from the mountains. The hot bustling of the town and the noise is long past. All you can hear is crickets chirping, fresh water running, the occasional twig breaking of a deer, and the swaying of these pine trees.
Is Scribbles on watch?
Yeah,
I'm
so
on watch.
Scribbles watch, nothing happens. Dravik and Marshall's watch, nothing happens. The third watch, Bill, Lil, and Simi, nothing happens. Simi accidentally knocks over something, which wakes up half the camp, though. And you all kind of
Fucking sauce in the bed, man. Every
fucking
time.
clumsy Simi as you'll return to the night. So the week's journey, nothing really happens. Days just bleed into one another. You take it as a moment for training, for some rest. Was there anything you guys would like in particular during this week, or we can fast travel?
I just want to train Hestia. That's it.
Yep, yeah,
Ultra
I'd
wants
like
to
to-
train in his movement.
sure.
How many weeks we got left until we get to the?
It's a week's journey, 7 days.
I'd like
So,
me and
take-
Timmy to practice a little bit of use of his healing magic.
Yeah, so Timmy,
Kind of like
I'm gonna give Timmy an ability after your sewer adventure. So
All right.
Timmy gets the ability for shield, which is a very small, like angelic glow comes out of his hand, and it allows like a small protection area, very very small dome of protection. It's quite early on.
Alex,
Before we
do-
travel, can I take the book of Charlie of Scribbles, and then say that I'll give it back to him before?
Awesome.
I'm gonna just put it to the group. It's not my decision to make.
I'm the only one other one that's had the book and it's been safe, right? So,
Dravik hasn't had a go.
Don't
I'm
hold
going
it
to
too
question Reiner and be like,
That book of yours that you all seem so hush-hush about. Would that be useful in the battle to come?
Gravik's not
No.
touching the book.
No.
No.
No. This is
Why are you
probably
talking
the-
to me in third person?
Dravek,
You're not
I'll-
touching the book.
Now you make me want to touch the book by saying I cannot.
Dravek, let me speak to you mono a mono. This is probably the most dark and evil magic I have ever felt, and I am literally dragging around a rotting human corpse behind me with a smile on my face. So when I say it's dark, you can believe me, it's really not very good.
mean,
I
we could
feel
just
like
say what happened
using
last time.
this. I feel like using this magic is just going to attract powers that be that we're not ready to face, and honestly, I feel like it's going to corrupt us. The reason I'm happy to hold this book is I have my own powers that I'm comfortable using. I have no need to draw upon this, and I have no want to draw upon this. So I think it's easiest if we let someone hold it who we know is not going to use it. Voltrim's clearly done a great job, but I think he needs a break, so I'm going to suggest I hold it for a few weeks, and then maybe someone else takes it from me after that.
Don't hold it too long. Don't hold it too long.
I'll take it until we're 2 days from location, and then I'll give it back to you.
If everyone's happy with that, I will surrender it willingly.
What about you, Freya? Are you happy with that?
No.
Bria doesn't get a say. She fucking opened the
No.
book.
No, I did it one time out of curiosity.
One time out
You
of
say that as
curiosity,
character.
opened
That's
the
not
book.
a good
No, I
line.
wouldn't do it
Is this
again.
Reiner? Is this
Right,
Reiner saying it,
but-
or is this Max?
I wouldn't.
This is Ryder saying it.
Okay, so Dravek's hearing all the details.
Yeah, and I also did see all the corpses. Don't forget.
Yeah.
Right. He's gonna take in that open for curiosity. And...
Did you?
Yeah, he was there.
No, I saw the dwarves.
Yeah, the dwarves.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You,
Not
Yeah,
the-
can I just turn to Dravik and be like, you saw what happened when the book's in the wrong hands.
And
This
it's
is
open.
why-
Don't open it. Don't open it.
We have to be careful with the book.
Reiner, if I can have your word that you'll give this back to me 2 days from sight, I'm happy to give it to you. I'm going to hand over the book wrapped in the blanket.
Happily. And take the book.
So as the adventure continues with no changes, Freya reading her novel discovers more. She discovers that the city of Markef was an ancient elven city and was most likely the largest and possibly a capital city. The Tower of Oziliath was also built over an ancient elven tower, and that the capital of Midland is built also on a former temple of the ancient elves.
Back in 2 seconds.
She also discovers that a battle took place, and that it was a battle of just absolute highest casualties possibly ever. But it doesn't say what between, although it changed the course of history forever. The translations are all very hard and rough, so there isn't very detailed information. You discover that the very first sightings of Malekith in his lineage is that he was one of the most talented mages and could, for the first time since ever, control multiple elements. And so they believe that the Council of Elders believe that he was the next king, perhaps a descendant from the first king, and so of the elves. And so he was offered to the Eternal Flame and was gifted the ability to control all the elements, and was crowned king. Where he married Sierra Seastar of House Seastar, who are well-known members of the Council of the Elders, and were the ruling lords of the Tower of Oziliath at the time. What are you guys chuckling at?
Nothing.
No. So Freya also discovers that in terms of the Swan Knights, the ring is passed down through the commanders, but also a spear, and it's called the Spear of Moonlight, and it's supposed to be unstoppable and can pierce anything. And it's this one end of it has a short blade, and the other end has a two-pronged spear tip, and it's completely silver and is indestructible.
That'd be pretty useful in the coming battle.
I want the spear.
What?
course
You're
you
laughing
do.
at, right?
I mean, everyone does. It sounds
I was
sick.
looking at Laura's reaction.
No, because everyone else is just like, yeah, you're like, I want the spear. Well, of course you do. Why wouldn't you want it?
So that's all the book will offer you, Freya.
Okay.
Where was the location of that thing?
The spear.
Mm.
It was just passed down through generations.
Oh, okay.
Freya has Freya, you have a faint memory of seeing that spear when you were a newborn child, basically.
Where was Freya? Well, Freya, where did you grow up?
Well, she grew up in the woods, but she wasn't born in the woods.
Yeah, but as in like where specifically? Where was your hometown?
What's what? I'm trying
So
to get a
you're
map.
Oscath,
Yeah.
Okay.
where the elves currently reside.
So, ideally, we want to head to Oscath soon after and get Freya her spear.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So, next plan after Basilisk. The spear. Cool. Can we...
Cool. All right. Yeah. Well, we'll wait for Charlie for a little bit. But is there any information anyone needs or wants while we wait for Charlie? That isn't going to spoil it. I'm not just going to say
So
anything.
they'll go Basilisk, right? Recap our memories. It shoots at acid.
Shit up. So what? Its abilities.
Well, I was going to talk them, but I'd be better if you recap them. That's even better. Then I don't
I
have
was going to
to.
say I'm not going to do it.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say them out loud. Like spits acid. Weakest when it's just about to attack. Rumored to be weak to sunlight. Axes didn't work. So basically all of our boys should just really be on shooting. Maybe with Reiner as the archer who is controlling... I can never say the word, unfortunately.
None of these men
ballista, yes?
Ballista, yeah. None of these men have bows. They only have spears and shields.
I wouldn't have a single one of these men fight.
Yeah.
They're literally just gonna die.
They're all listening to this conversation as you're riding. Marshal Owen turns around at the front of the cart. Don't you worry, Master Dwarf. Oh, sorry, fuck, that's Scraps' voice. Don't worry, Master Dwarf. These men are hardened. We'll be your shield wall. We'll defend you all. I promise you that. As his red cloak billows.
Alex,
If we're gonna shoot out the ballista, it's going to obviously go to the ballista when it gets hit by it, because it'll probably hurt. So I say there's got to be people who are just running around and pissing it off, so it doesn't go towards the ballista.
Alex,
You gotta keep it distracted.
Can I come up with a plan? Send it to Adam, and if he approves it, can it be implemented mid-battle?
Can't you hash out the plan now?
Don't throw Voltrim at a lizard.
No.
okay?
I'm not. No, literally.
Okay, so what this is, so Reiner, so just to explain this for future use as well. So when this happened with the Battle of Maidentown against the Queen, where Dravik and Voltrim had a private discussion, they just had a private discussion, and then acted it out within lore-wise.
Oh no. I'm not saying a plan. I want to do something, but I don't want you as DM to know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
I want
it's fine.
Adam.
As long as it's within reason. It's not like Reiner gets a helicopter.
All right, so can I discuss with Adam
Reiner
quickly?
makes string. As long as it's not something like that, then yeah.
Yeah, but did
And
you
then
see like
come
how it
back,
just
and then Adam would be
paused?
like, "Yeah, that is a viable thing," or Adam would
Yeah,
be like,
if
"No,
Adam
that's not a
agrees
viable
with it, then
thing."
fine. Yeah.
Okay, Adam.
Adam is the voice of
Okay.
reason.
Alex, drag us into the other channel.
Yeah, sure.
God.
Also, guys, I'm heading off at 10:30 because I got to get stuff ready for work again tomorrow because I'm in the office.
Is it worth not starting this battle till next time then?
We'll just get to the cave and the town outside of it.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
We'll leave it just before you enter the cave, I think.
Okay, it's a good setup
Depending on-
episode.
Yeah, it's a setup. Reiner's had sex, and thinks he can make string episode.
Wait. Yeah.
Do you see my face? I make string. I was like, what?
What you talking about, Willis?
Alright, just waiting for old scribbles. No one's put Moni in the wagon, so he's still being dragged by string.
Poor Moni. I'm gonna kill Moni. The second this is over, put him out of his misery.
It's so powerful, though. It's a Templar armor
Well,
floating
yeah.
around.
But he's been forced against his will to be a zombie.
He's dead. He's long since dead. He got stabbed in the neck multiple times by Timmy, and then resuscitated back to undead. Like,
God. So is
Those
he just like
scribbles.
got all the power as the Templar did? It's not half as a
no,
zombie.
he's basically just a walking shield.
Okay.
So he has no ability. He can barely swing a mace.
Oh.
He's slow.
Question:
Ah, you're
If
finally awake.
if his armor goes and he dies, if said someone who puts the armor on who can use magic, can they still use magic while wearing the armor?
So Templar armor is custom made to the person that it's made for. So your body shapes have to match his exactly.
Still didn't answer my question.
That's
though,
him
about magic.
dodging the question.
Yeah.
What was your question? Sorry.
Can he
if you're
use magic whilst wearing it?
No.
Not at all. So every
No.
Templar can't use magic at all.
No Templar uses magic. They reject magic. That's their whole gimmick.
But she's asking, imagine if someone
use blood
magic
web.
tried to
Yeah.
use it whilst in it. The
No.
armor itself will negate
So-
the magic.
Yeah.
So,
So if you
okay.
fired your blood arrow at Moni, your blood arrow would become blood before it hit him.
What if we ram Templar armor into the basilisk? Will any magical properties stop working?
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. If we'd like chip off bits and like tie it onto the explosives.
Yeah.
Throw it onto the throw it into the basilisk.
Attacked, though.
Maybe we can fire Moni at the basilisk.
First off, no one's firing my fucking boy.
Your undead boy.
My undead boy. Second off, Moni would disintegrate seconds after he left the cannon, and it would just be a floppy, wet mess that hit the basilisk.
But the armor would remain. Because
So
we
I'm gonna ask
detach
you a
him.
really serious question. When you've been really high, have you ever been like confused on how to get out of your room by the amount of doors? Like look behind you.
Yeah,
on the webcam.
there's two little ones.
There's two little ones, another door. Have you ever been like, fuck, which one's my door out of here?
No.
Let's see, have you set up the cot and stuff?
Oh wow, that's a really bad angle.
Yeah, I can't see shit, but
One sec, can I?
I can't see shit, but ah.
No, I'm really. This is not.
yeah.
Aww.
We can kind of see it, yeah.
Yeah, kind of see it.
It'd be
What
better
are the
if I
three-
streamed it
what
on
are
my
the three
phone.
posters?
They say, be brave, dream big, and be kind. And then there's one on the wall, like there, that says Rose, just above her cot. Her cot is
Oh.
there. Her changing table and stuff is there. Her
Very
wardrobe is there.
Nice.
And there's like a mini bath thing and a rocker and her pram. In fact, you know what? I can show you that. Are you ready?
That's cute, bro.
Here we go. Ah.
Now we watch Charlie struggle to assemble it for the next
Wait,
20
wait.
minutes.
Your
Wait,
dad already, look.
wait.
If this doesn't do anything.
Look.
Oh, wow. On the fly.
Nice.
Is the baby standing up the entire time?
No, the baby's been tipped on the floor twice already.
Yeah, on the train track. The baby was squished and then just flung onto the tracks. Come on.
Max's idea is not terrible, by the way.
Okay. Oh. Oh, he's doing something.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Oh,
I think Rose's little tiny body broke 3 times when you were setting that up.
oh, that's nice.
We've got to get one of those for Timmy.
Bleaty pushing it on 2 legs.
whose knee did Scribbles destroy?
It was, I think the Templars, he like mashed it
Ah,
or something,
yeah.
didn't he?
Yeah, we don't care about that. It's
I mean, you guys remember that somewhere in the world right now, he teleported. What was his name?
Oh, yeah, I forgot his name.
It was like Bob. No, it wasn't Bob. What was... Well, that's really cute, Joe.
Thank you. That is the second time I've assembled it, so I didn't do too badly.
Charlie, do you remember that guy you teleported? Do you remember his name?
Which one?
The guy in the town square, when you were like, I can do magic, and you just teleported him out of thin air.
Wasn't he the one that I teleported that got vaporized by some acid somewhere?
No, that was at an inn one time when you and Angel were fucking around.
I don't know.
Oh look, I might have wrote it down. That's something funny.
He was like, I want to go home, and you said okay, and then just tapped him with your corrupted waystone, and he said, "Ugh!" and just got sucked into oblivion, and is somewhere in the world right now trying to get home without money.
Apple, what you wish
Sounds
for?
like a villain, the start of a villain story.
Yeah, doesn't it?
The only difference between a villain and a hero is who's telling the story.
His day, I like to imagine this like a spin-off episode. You know, when like Uncle Io has his tea, is this guy was taking medicine to his dying mum, and he spent.
Why
he
you got to
spent the
make it
last-
sad? It was funny.
He spent the last of his gold, and he was like, "Oh, I'll go to the town square and see a wizard perform magic. How rare! Maybe that'll bring joy to my day. Oh, I've been asked up on stage. Okay." And then he goes on stage and just gets taken. He wakes up in like a swamp somewhere. Where am I? Just in the middle of nowhere as the camera zooms out.
God.
Are we ready, by the way?
Yeah, we're all back.
Cool.
So, you eventually come to what's like left of this ghost town of a mining town. About 200 people lived here. The miners, their wives, maybe
50,000 people used to live here. Now it's a ghost town.
maybe a shitty like whorehouse one that was on the outskirts of it, but it's all dilapidated, kind of overgrown. Some of the buildings have been ruined. There's like explosion marks and craters in the floor. A fight. There's no bodies or bones left, and all the food has been like coveted or eaten. Sprout dismounts first as he looks over the town and inhales deeply as this like it's this blistering cold, like not blistering cold, but this really cold air. Like you're having to wear your cloaks quite done up at this point. Like it's chilly.
Don't our cloaks protect against frost?
Yes, except for you, Dravik.
But I'm cold-blooded.
Yeah. But you're all like you've got a higher protection, but it's cold enough, and you can see like the icy southern mountains and the snow peaks, and they seem to just go on forever, like into the heavens and above.
We ever decide which of the guards were coming with us, or they weren't?
Sprout inhales deeply as the guards are like investigating the buildings. God, this is my home for so long. He inhales from his hip flask. Oh, it's weird to be back. It's where I kissed my first girl. He like elbows Voltrum. Oh, Susan.
You kissed Voltrum here?
What? Susan
Wouldn't you be
Willikers.
so lucky?
Susan Willikers. What a lass. That's where I lost.
Susan Williams.
That's where I lost my my virginity to an elf hooker.
And can I say,
And this'll be where you die if you don't keep your mind on the job.
Maybe, lad. As he pats Dravik's kneecap. Maybe. Would be too bad to die here. I've got some unfinished business with this snake. As he starts limping into town.
I'm gonna.
The mountains look somewhat like imposing, and you feel like you're being watched.
I'm gonna give it the bird.
Not the mountains. Dravik, for a split second, you think you see Bleaty flipping off the mountains as well, and then you turn back, and he's just chewing hay.
Can I
The
look
horses.
in the specific area Bleaty might have been flipping off?
Yeah, it's just the mountains. He was just copying Leyland.
Okay. You never
Yeah,
know with him.
Can I get shieldsmen in front of the horses that are carrying the ballista?
Yeah, the guardsmen, they're all shieldsmen.
Can I get them to form around the ballista?
Okay. Marshall's like, the elf must have seen something. Ready up, men, ready up. Like they throw this tarpaulin off. The Sprout rushes back and he's like, "What has he seen? What's he seen?" It's like Phil jumps onto the back of the ballista and starts like cranking it as it like unfolds, and this huge like wooden clockwork structure like pops out. The string, like you hear it like being so like tight, and it's basically steel string. that holds the two ballista ends together. This huge bow now completely covered, like crossbow covers over either side of the cart. Its sides have flapped down where you had supplies.
I'm going to command people to spread out.
They
I
form a
roll a
line.
perception check.
Just before you do that, before you read the result of that perception check, can I just politely request the book back?
You've got
Oh yeah,
the book
I've
back,
given
sure.
you the book back. Yeah.
Perfect, that's fine.
So as Reiner then panicked at his own command, jumps up onto the back of the wagon and looks out over the mountains, and you see nothing.
That's fine. Proceed.
They're all
I
like-
see nothing. Proceed.
They're all the soldiers panicking. Marshall looks over to Reiner.
Can I listen down to the ground and see if I hear anything down below?
You hear nothing.
I'd be like, better be safe than sorry.
Marshall looks at the men. The men kind of like go to lower their spears. Marshall nods to them and looks at Phil, who's loaded this crossbow bolt, and now realizes that you have to fire this bolt and let it go to waste because it's holding the string back.
Can't you just take the bolt out? Why don't we all take the bolt out and then let the string do its thing?
Right, is there not a lever as a fire button?
The string is now, the lever was here. You told us to get ready, and then so with the bolt is now the new lever. The fire button just removes the thing that's holding the bolt in place. We can try pulling the string back, but we might lose our fingers.
Can't we point
think
it
that's gonna
at
kill-
the like a very close target, like a house or something?
We can still move it with the bolt.
or
attached,
shoot
right?
it into a wall right next to it.
You can-
Yeah, we
you-
can definitely
you-
move it while it's
You can
still-
move it with the bolt attached, yeah.
Yeah, let's move it to
Why
something
don't we just
close
keep
and
the bolt,
shoot.
like,
Yeah, just keep. It's not gonna.
That's
go,
true. Yeah, we
keep
just keep it in it.
tension.
reloaded.
Because of the giant size of the crossbow unfolded, it's going to be difficult to fit down narrow passes. But
We want to bring it
I was
out
gonna
here,
say
right?
we've got to draw the basilisk out.
Yeah.
We could just fire it at something where we think the basilisk is and then draw it out. Because it will come out because of the noise, because it'll be hungry.
Let's
Let's not do that.
before
until
we
we've got
do
a plan.
anything, I want to actually like scan where the hell we are. I have no concept of like
Okay.
we're
well
just
then,
in town, right?
Why
Yeah, what's
don't
the
we
battleground?
bolt and ballista stay in one area? Semi people go off. Not many people go off and scout and come back.
Why don't you use like wind wall or something to like push the bolt up so no one loses their hand, but you use the wind to like push it up, and then the string just goes.
Yeah,
Don't
you
use.
When you say losing your hand, Moni just goes, oh.
starts numbing at his own hand.
Wait, well, why didn't Charlie just use his fucking hand grab thing to take the bolt off?
Because all of my magic involves.
Let's just
decaying
leave
or
it
just
where it
dancing
is right now. I
on
think
touches.
Yeah, we'll just leave it where
let's
it is.
explore.
The guards are so confused at what's happened. They were exploring, and then Reiner barked orders to ready for an attack.
Did nothing
What?
trigger that?
No, Reiner went defensive position, and then walked off from his computer chair.
Right, because I thought I'd missed something. I was like, oh fuck,
But
here
then
we
Reiner
go.
panicked. Reiner panicked because they all panicked. So Reiner like ran back, jumped on, and was like, "What are we fighting for?" And Marshall was like, "You just told us to form up."
He caught me off guard. I was like a little bit snoozy for a second. I was like, oh my god!
of
Spread
the-
out!
Out of like the 12 steel giant bolts you've got, you've almost wasted one by just listening to Reiner's madness.
Okay.
Marshall's just like frustrated as hell. He takes off his helmet, puts it on the side, and like kind of like puts some of the water from one of the buckets in his face. And he's like, I don't know how we'll get. This was meant to be unmantled in combat, and then like dismantled at the end of combat, not before combat.
So, may I ask, how close are we to where we wanted to go?
You're on the outskirts of the town, which is about another half a day from the mountains.
So we still have
Can I
half a
just
day
say,
of
by the
travel.
way,
Yeah.
that all I said was I wanted guardsmen to be stationed around the ballista.
You said form up around the ballista.
I said I wanted guards to be stationed around
They
the
were-
ballista. We can
yeah,
go
they
back
were-
and check if you really want.
They
but-
were exploring town, and they had to rush back at your command.
All right,
This
what's
blister is
what's
gonna go
happened?
up
What's
once more.
happened has happened. Okay.
Marshall, they start trying to dismantle.
What
it as
happens
quickly as
if
they can.
Dravik and all the strongest people push it instead of the normal guards? Would that be able to be moved?
It'll be fine. Like it was just a risk that the bolt would just like suck their hands away, but they successfully dismantle it after about half a day, and slowly pack it. So now the sun is setting slightly.
I
It's
just
like-
clarify now. I want guards based around the ballista.
The guards panic again. They rush to get their space. The sun's setting. It's about like 10 in the evening.
All right, let's camp here because I don't want to fight it at night.
Uh,
And this is also far enough away that we can send a splinter group to scout ahead and see if it has. Because we don't want to just get there and go straight into battle. We want to scout its behavior. We want to see if it's even here.
That's a monster hunter.
We want to sort of, does it have any reoccurring
It's probably
habits?
Travik's voice.
Well, maybe my mum's walking by the door, so maybe not.
I want to be the feeder. I want to be the feeder.
God, fucking reference. And pretty much that's what I think we should do. Keep the main camp here, send a splinter group, me and whoever thinks they want to come along to do that.
I'll come.
Phil, Lil, Simi, and Chucky.
Phil and Lil, I'm not allowing them to come. They're too chatty. I want Grunt.
Grunt.
I'm going to tell you who's coming.
Right.
Any of the main party can come, but Phil and Lil have already proven in that bloody... I was sitting silently. Oh, I want to be a cook. No, I was first, Lil. So not having none of that.
So Grunt.
Where's my list? Oh, lordy, I've lost my list of men. Because I thought, in a blind rhino panic, I went back to my battle page. I'll bring Lob. I'm remembering off the top of my head. And how many of our parties come out?
Who wants to be the advanced scouting party? Leland.
Just
Freya,
me and Leland.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, so advanced.
And
scouts.
Phoenix.
Okay, the advanced scouts are Dravik, Lulan, Freya, Lob, Felix.
I thought it was Phoenix. Is it Felix?
No, it's Felix.
Oh, I'm a lot less confident in him. Felix. I'll bring...
You got two more.
We don't need that many. They'll
Two
just
more
slow
will
us
come
down.
with you. Do you know one Grunt?
We are bringing Grunt.
Yeah, you just said Lob and Felix and Grunt. Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that's the advanced scout party. At the edge of town. Oh, actually, you definitely should take with you is Scrout, who actually knows the way around the mine.
Okay, we're bringing Scrout.
Yeah. So the advanced party, you'll explore the town first. I'm well aware of time, because Laura needs to go soon, so we'll call it here. But next session will be you guys
gonna get attacked.
will be you guys exploring the town and then going into the very entrance of the cave. And it'll be the...
We're going into the entrance. I thought we want to see if maybe it'll leave the cave.
Yeah, but I mean, you'll explore the area, that gap, and then the group, the rest of the group.
This is a recon mission. This isn't a engaged mission.
And then the rest of the group will be setting up the battle.
Cool.
Good session, guys. It's a bit of a mini one just to keep us on track, really.
It was nice. I like the little
Enjoyed
ones.
it.
Yeah, I like the
I
little ones.
constantly forget that Lauren is back in the office on Tuesdays, so we'll try and avoid.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesdays, I'm actually in the office, so that's why I come on late and have to leave early.
I think what we'll do is aim for Wednesdays.
Didn't we used to just do every Thursday for like months?
Oh, Thursdays, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't do Thursday. It's just flat right now.
Can you do Wednesdays, Charlie?
Most Wednesdays.
Okay, cool. We'll move.
Yeah, Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays are better for me because I'm at home. So.
All right, we'll move it to next
Again,
Wednesday.
I'm unemployed, so.
Hold on one second.
For some.
I got a camera.
It's not because I really need a job.
Oh, actually, hold on, guys. I'll be right back.
I didn't get to see your mum.
Yeah, sorry about
Sorry about that. Yeah, we'll do next Wednesday.
Are you going to Grandad's?
Let me have a look at my diary. One sec.
Oh, you've actually got a diary.
Your diary. Today I
thought Vivian was your diary.
Not this time. Could we do the following Wednesday, the 29th?
Yeah, next Wednesday. Or do you mean the
No.
Wednesday after that?
The Wednesday after that.
We'll do that anyway, 100%. Is there any day next week you can do?
Sunday.
I can do any
Um,
day next week.
You know what? We can just plan this later.
yeah, I could do the Saturday, the 25th.
I'll double check that with Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
But wait, aren't we coming to yours that day, Charlie?
No.
No, that was like provisionally thrown around, but no one really said yes to it, so I think it's still going to be the later one.
Oh, okay. Wait, what later one?
That joke about how Vivi was Charlie's diary. No, I am actually Alex's diary.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll plan it in the chat, but we'll do Wednesday the 29th for certain.
Sounds good, man.
27th, you mean? No, wait, sorry.
No,
Yeah.
no, it is 29th.
No, don't worry. I was looking at October. My bad, guys. 29th.
Terrible diary. Absolutely
No.
terrible diary. Alex, hand it in.
This
get
is
me
why
one.
we're late.
Jesus.
This is why we're
No,
late
no,
to everything.
no. I've got to do. Obviously, I do social media, so I was looking at October's calendar for social.
That's why we're
so.
late to everything, and everything has a blog post to it.
Also, B, we should discuss your Instagram stuff while I've got you at some point.
Yes, we really, really should.
Yeah, because
I
I've got
really
a few
want to do
ideas that I've been screenshotting and saving.
that. Please send them to me, and yeah,
Okay.
please let's sort that. I really want to do that.
Yeah. Okay,
Is
we'll
anyone
sort
up
that.
for some games for the rest of the evening?
Me.
Right, guys, I'm going.
Night, Lauren.
Maybe.
Bye,
Lauren.
guys.
Bye.
Bye, Lauren. Sleep
Bye.
tight.
Where's the hang up button?
Maybe.
Right, bye, guys.
Bye.
Night.
Bye. Bye. Do you want to play some roleplay Dread Hunger?
I can't do anything that involves too much talking.
You could be the doctor
could play
that lost
Grunt.
his tongue. Yeah, you could be Grunt.
I would be down for many a game. I'd be up for Dread Hunger. I'd be up for Fall Guys. I'd be up for.
Well, I'm just going to fill up my bottle of water, but let's do some Dread Hunger. You're right.
Oh, okay, well, fair enough.
Max, you up for some RP Dread Hunger?
Apparently so.
Dan, Adam, you up for some RP Dread Hunger? Chess, we still need to try and upgrade your
I'm back,
computer.
and yes.
It'll be your random.
Yeah, I'll just watch.
I'm just going to get some water.
Tom, are you streaming?
I am. I'll
I'll
end this
probably watch
one though,
that.
just so it doesn't get locked into our D&D archives.
Okay, well, if you play, then I'll just watch you guys. 'Cause
You can see a true master at Dread Hunger work. I normally club a seal for starters, and then I
Convince everyone you're not a traitor.
well, I never normally am. If anything,
What is
everyone.
Dread Hunger?
So Dread Hunger is like, have you heard of Among Us?
Yes,
So
I
it's the
played
s-
Among Us with you guys.
Same
Pretty sure.
Oh, you know what? Maybe we could even
I
play.
played it with you.
We could
We
even
could
play
play
Among
Among
Us,
Us.
because then you can play it.
Ooh,
I
What
definitely
about-
have for Among Us.
Barrow trauma.
I don't
Maybe
think.
Chester has
Yeah, Chester and that barrow.
But Among
I have
Us.
the world's shittiest laptop.
Well, if we let's just assume we don't play Among Us, but I will put Among Us for when Alex comes back. It's basically the same concept of this is Dread Hunger. There's two bad guys or one bad guy, and everyone else's crew, and you have to basically get this pirate ship from point A to point B, but you have a 4-day timer, and at the night you can freeze to death. You can starve to death. You can get murdered by the bad guys, and you have to destroy this massive iceberg which is blocking your way out with nitroglycerin. And those are like all the objectives, whereas the bad guys just want to kill you. But everyone gets 2 lives. So imagine Charlie's the bad guy and he just openly kills me. I will respawn at the ship and be like, Charlie killed me. So that's why bad guys kind of can't just out themselves straight away, but when it's near the end and you're like running out of time and the blizzard's coming in, and then like you go, God, I haven't seen. Literally every game just goes where Alex is better than all of us. We don't see him for 4 days, and then he comes back and the ship explodes because he put a nuke on it or something, and you're like, ah. That's pretty much how it goes. Or Dan is bad because Dan's bad all the time. Those are the two games. I was bad once. It was a good
And is
game.
bad an amount of the time that doesn't make logical sense.
It's ridiculous. Like, the chances of it happening are so infinitesimally small, and yet here we are.
Yeah. He's just bad to the bone, as they say.
I hate it. I don't like being bad. Because now if I'm not bad, I haven't got a fucking clue what I'm doing.
One sec.